What's going on, everybody? Bobby Fire, Cheat Saber. We're going to be talking about the NBA slate. 7 games on DraftKings, 9 games on FanDuel. It's it's an interesting slate because you have the obvious value, but you've got multiple guys who are the obvious value. So it's kind of wondering which ones you're going to end up with. I've sort of come around to Eubanks being my guy. I'm only playing one lineup on FanDuel. I'm not playing at all on DraftKings. Sort of saving it for football this weekend, but I really like the idea of trying to maybe get different at the position on DraftKings if I was playing. Eubanks on FanDuel is cheaper than Jalen Williams and all that. I think that Jalen Williams I think he's going to have a big game tonight. That's just my feeling. And I think you also have Daniel Tice. So kind of curious and you're going to end up in Wendell Carter. There's just tons of center options. I feel like you're probably playing double center, but to try to get a little different, maybe playing Jalen Williams with a Y. And I think Mark Williams is a terrific play, although he's picked up a little bit of steam. I don't think this is a sneaky one to anybody. So kind of curious what you're getting to, Sheets.
I don't know. I just ran the projections, and like you said, I mean, I got like 5 guys around 6X, 3 centers, that being Eubanks, Tyson, Carter, and then Conley and Alexander Walker from Minnesota. But below that, right there are the guys you just mentioned, are Jalen Williams and Gafford. And you know who else is showing up a little bit is Brooke Lopez.
Brooke Lopez, yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm curious if I actually get to these guys. I'm going to run this and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I would get to Lopez on this slate personally, but I mean, he's cheap. But I mean, Gobert is 5,400 also, and no one's playing him. Podol 62, not really getting much attention. Some people are going to play Jokic because he's too cheap. But it is, not a great matchup.
So he's playing?
As of right now, I have him as questionable, but I tend to assume that he plays except for when things are really bad.
Yeah, let's see. Let's build and see what we can dream up here. So I wonder why did Tice show up now?
Because the starting Mizzy or whatever, what's his name is out, their center. So he's projected to start.
Which team?
What's that?
Which team is that?
New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird, but I really feel like that's maybe my favorite way to get different. And I have another just completely makes no sense. Don't do it. There will be 0% ownership on this.
Oh, boy, I like this already. The don't do it. No sense. What do we got?
Jimmy Butler.
Oh, no.
I mean, if he's going to play, why wouldn't they just let him play?
Yeah, let him play. I'll just sit there and pout.
You think so? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think
he's been doing all season, hasn't he? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's not like he was playing terrible all season. It's just, I just think it's an interesting. Okay, you're never going to get literally a 0% owned guy, and he is going to be 0%, and it's a high total. I don't know. I think it's like the crazy look. You throw it into one lottery tournament. If you're playing 150, you don't need to go out of your way to play a ton of it. I'm just throwing it out there as a wild, get crazy play. I'm not saying anything. He's not even supposed to start. I think he's coming off the bench, but aren't they trying to showcase him if they're going to trade him in the next 2 weeks? It feels like this is the time. I don't know. Maybe you get the 35% usage Jimmy Butler.
So this is something that I don't think I have seen in a long time. All right, so check out this exposure that I'm getting on DraftKings, just running my normal process. I'm getting overweight like nobody. You know what I mean? I'm getting 60% Eubanks, but all these guys between 20 and 35%. That's so weird.
That is weird. So weird. And I don't really know why that would be the case. I think that it's my guess is it's a product of there's a lot of very similar value. I think that it's kind of hard to take but usually Saberson will take a giant stand in that situation.
No, it really
didn't.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah, I'm interested. I'm kind of curious to why that is. And as much as there's value, it's not like this incredible value. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like these are 7, 8X guys. It's not like they're sure things. I'm sticking with my Jalen with a Y Williams as being a very, very good, which shouldn't be sneaky call. I think it makes a lot of sense. I also think Gafford's price wasn't raised too much. I'm going to try and go. If I was building, I would have all the centers in my utility, but I would get a little creative with the centers personally. Who else do we have that I wanted to? There was somebody else who was a center that I liked a little bit. Who won't get ownership? Oh, Vooch.
Ooh,
I think that's a good one too. But I really like
so far off the board because there's like 100 centers.
Right. And by the way, Mark Williams should probably be 7,500 or 8K or something, like with no Nick Richards behind him. I just think that he's going he's going to crush more often than he doesn't. And Brendan's asking a very good question that I had to deal with already, and I was dealing with it on FanDuel between Conley and who do we want, Conley or Nickeil Alexander-Walker? Nickeil Alexander-Walker is dangerous because he doesn't always have to produce, and Conley is kind of like that too.
Right.
Conley's starting officially. I kind of like the Nickeil Alexander-Walker at what I'm guessing is going to be slightly lower ownership. But I do feel like we've seen this before. It's not like DiVincenzo was always on this team. The same team played last year, and Randall's there now too instead of Towns. But are we sure that they get all the run? Is there a, if you want to take another stand or take a shot in tournaments, I think a really good shot to take would be Rob Dillingham as a large field. He's the rookie for Minnesota.
Okay.
He's got a lot of talent, but the minutes, like maybe they get. I mean, it would take him playing really well if he got run. He hasn't played in like a month and a half or something, or a month. Anyway, it's a large field play that I would consider. But the one I actually think that I will flag plant on that is actually I think a really good play that's being overlooked is Anthony Edwards.
You saw that Zay Flowers officially out, right? I mean,
he's officially doubtful, but then the coach said that he might play. I don't know. It's weird.
I think that's Harbaugh being Harbaugh. I don't know. It's like,
but he's usually right. When he says the guys are going to play, they usually do. I don't know.
I think I throw him out. I mean, I think it's just a Lamar. It's a Lamar and Henry game, like. I don't know.
But he's the. I mean, he's too cheap. Like I would want to play him if he's playing.
Okay.
But I don't think he's going to. I mean, I'm sort of with you that I don't think it's less.
That's interesting. Like that, you'd play him if he plays. If for me, like if he played, it would be just like to be almost a decoy.
A decoy. That would be my fear. But I also think the ownership would just nobody would play him.
Reflect that.
Yeah. And he's got. I mean, this is what the second biggest game in their since they last won a title basically. Going back to last year's and he by the way fumbled away the game against Philadelphia against Kansas City last year. So, Sheets, did you end up with more of Conley or Alexander Walker?
No, let's see. Let's just see about that. No, like none of them. I don't think.
Wow, that's interesting.
Conley, let me see. 20% Conley.
Okay.
And then Alexander Walker, like 17%.
Okay.
I tell you, like, I'm not too concentrated with anything.
Yeah, it's interesting. Favorite two centers that have Jalen Williams, WCJ, or Eubanks. I mean, look, Jalen Williams is the tournament dart. That's what it is. He's going to be 5% owned, and he's got plenty of upside just because he didn't show it one night. Doesn't mean that that's going to be the case. So, and also in the worst matchup in basketball against Indy. Against the Cleveland. I personally like him as the contrarian. The chalk answer is Eubanks and then Carter. That would be the way it goes, I think. But I'm pretty pumped up for the football, man. I'm ready. I spent a lot of time researching a lot of stuff today, and I don't think this weekend is going to go as everyone's predicting it is.
Well, Flowers is currently like out of the projections for SaberSound.
Yeah.
But
it must be really bad.
Yeah, but it is interesting. It's the Sunday game, right?
Yeah, and the other one SaberSim finally caught on to was that what are they doing with Tyler Higbee? Like what's going on there? Like he's playing, like.
Oh, they had him.
They had him with like half a fantasy point or something. Let's see if they've updated it. I bet they have. But he's projected to be 2% owned. Oh my God! Like, how do you think they're going to handle the Phillies pass rush? You're going to see the exact same thing you saw in the first quarter against Minnesota. They're going to throw the ball to Higbee. So I love the Higbee play as a tournament. I'll talk tomorrow about it. I'm going to go live about an hour and a half before lock tomorrow, so we'll get the injury reports that we have. And I tried to mess around with a little bit of the showdown stuff too this week. Oh, Sasaki, the Dodgers got him.
Who's that?
He's the Japanese pitcher. He's going to be a stud. All right, let's.
They just have to take all the Japanese pitchers. Is that the deal?
Well, it always works out pretty well.
Yeah.
It's starting with going back to Nomo.
That was great.
Yeah. I actually got to see Nomo pitch, not in Yankee Stadium, but we literally traveled to watch him pitch on the road. I don't know why we did these trips. I mean, my family loves baseball, but it was like we wouldn't watch him at home, but then we'd go watch him all these road games because it was like a huge event. And we watched him pitch against the Mets one time, which was actually really, really fun. I think he
played for the Mets eventually, didn't he? I thought he did.
He might have. He kind of played for everybody at some point. Man, this team it's wild though, how that they always get the foreign players, and it's just like I don't know. All right, other things from this. So I'll just say that I'm playing one lineup on FanDuel, and I am playing Anthony Edwards and Wemby. I'm a little nervous with Wemby, to be honest. Jalen, what's his name, did an incredible job on him defensively. Jaren Jackson Jr. That was the best I've seen anybody play against him. But I mean, he also had 8 blocks, and the Stocks opportunity against Memphis, who just attacks relentlessly to the rim. I feel like it's too much upside. But I'm playing those guys. I'm currently playing Filipowski and Eubanks over there, but I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think I probably want to get rid of one of them and use the other value centers over on FanDuel. I thought you'd be into the FanDuel today because they got that tournament that you like. It's not 100 for first, but it's the 222.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm going out to dinner, so I'm not going to be around the late swap or whatever. So I'm not going to get too crazy.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, I think even since we started Sheets, like it's gotten so nuts. Like even when we first started playing, we was first talking to you. Like it wasn't like there was always news after lock. Like you could kind of get away with it.
I don't know. I think there was.
I don't. No, there wasn't. There wasn't because that was what I did. I literally would grind every single part of it, and I almost occasionally you get one thing happening. It was never like this. And it was also right before they really started doing the player, resting and all that stuff. Sound like an old guy now. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna rerun. So I wonder, did they? I wonder if the projections are getting to those other Colts, Ravens receivers like I don't know who are those, like Wallace and or
Bateman,
Aguilar. Or,
I don't think they're going to get to much of any of those things. It'll be Bateman, Andrews, and Likely.
Well, Bateman was always going to look good. I mean,
well, if Flowers was in, I don't think anybody would play him.
Okay.
But I think that Likely similarly, like Likely basically is their wide receiver 2 without Bateman. Or sorry,
right.
He sort of lines up as a receiver, and then you've got Andrews as their main one, obviously.
I think that's
no one's playing Lamar though.
I think really.
He's like projected at 7% ownership or 8%.
I think you play. I mean, I think the logical game is the Detroit game. I mean,
sure, that's the one I think that it's getting.
That's what it's going to be most popular, I imagine, right?
I would imagine it would be, but yeah, I really tried to go out of my way not to get much of the first game, for what it's worth.
And that's the Washington game. Is that the first one?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the only one that's in the dome, right? Or
no, Washington game's the second game.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that the only dome game?
It's the only dome game. But you're going to have Barkley and Henry, who people are going to want to play both of.
That's true.
So it's kind of tricky because then, and that's why I'm very heavy on Gibbs, just as a little bit of something. Just not going to be different, but I don't think he'll be as owned as Barkley and Henry.
So unfortunately, my friend I told you about, who's like kind of like represents the public pretty nicely, Not only is he like Buffalo, but I hate to tell you this, but he likes the Rams.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry about that.
I like the Rams too, by the way. I think this is everything I hear is just like treating that game like it's not even happening. They just are acting giving the Eagles, and I think it's a horrible matchup for the Rams. Like, you know, if there is a tough one, it would be Baltimore and them because the mobile quarterback thing and the running game. But I actually think the Rams are like, I think the Rams are one of the best. I have a different take. I think the Rams are one of the best teams left in the playoffs. I just think that they didn't have their players all season long. But even with their players, that Philadelphia beat the hell out of us, which they did last year. Also, the game I went to Mark. Let's see what else is going on here. Boy, I've got two guys. I've got Sung J M and Chan Kim, and somehow my lineup is in the top 50 in the millionaire thing, the golf or whatever, the 100,000 golf one.
I was in like third at one point.
Were you?
Yeah, and something.
That's wow.
No, I think that one might be in 300 now, something like that.
The Rico Hui though was the key so far.
He's killing it.
He's in first.
Oh, I didn't even know.
That's why I thought you might have some stuff going.
Oh.
Because we thought he might be more owned than they were saying, and he actually ended up less owned.
I don't even know who was on the whatchamacallit, the good course or whatever. Yeah, so I have a Hui, but then that one's got like a Wyndham Clark who's 4 under.
That's gonna. So he can still make it. He just has.
What do you need? Like 10? It's gonna be 10.
It's probably gonna be 9 or 10. I think that 9 is the favorite.
I mean, it's so wild. I mean,
there's a kid playing who was looked like he was like 12 years old. And he was playing well. He birdied 6 holes in a row, and it was like I guess he's 17.
Taylor? No.
Blade.
All right, so just for fun, I'm gonna do a football build here, just to see what I would get. This is the 4 game. I'm gonna do the 4 game.
Should we share your screen, or you don't want to share it?
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I just thought it would be fun to see.
I imagine it's gonna be Washington, Detroit. I mean,
I think that's what the chalk is gonna be.
That's what I mean. The total's what, like 60? I mean, what is this thing?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's 56, I think.
What is the actual total? 56?
Let me just double check.
Because like Saberson's implied thing up here is it's 60.
It's 55 and a half.
Oh, 55. There it is. That's 56. I thought it was a 39-23 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at all this. I mean, look at the top like 7 guys here. It's like,
yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm just gonna try to.
Not the first game, at least.
Yeah, that's true. I really like the Sunday game, so I'm gonna be doing that and focusing there.
But fading those Lions games tough though.
No, I'm not gonna fade it. I'm gonna be over. I'll be like with the field on McLaurin. I'll probably have less Jaden Daniels because I want to play both Lamar, or I want to play Lamar and some Josh Allen. And I'll be overweight probably the Gibbs play. And then on FanDuel, for anybody who's playing on FanDuel, you have the 4K play of David Montgomery on Saturday.
Ooh.
So what is the ownership going to look like on that is what I want to know.
Well, let's see what I get of him. That's going to be the good indication. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah, I'm
doing it right now. And then I just ran this just standard process, not doing anything. Let's see what I would be getting in the NFL. What is it? Classic slate. Oh, actually, highest owned player, Puka Nacua. Let's go.
That's who I've got too.
Yeah. Then, see, this one feels so dirty. Having like 40% mixing.
Yikes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he can literally end up at 5 fantasy points.
Yeah. But I mean, it is an interesting contrarian thing. I don't think it's going to be that popular.
That's very interesting then.
It's I'm taking a quick look and making sure that David Montgomery is 4,000
in the Saturday Sunday, right?
And the Saturday slate. The Saturday Sunday is just like, tiny tournaments.
Oh, that's the only one I'm running here. Let's I'm just doing the same thing. Let's see.
He's projected to be 75% owned, and I would bet it's higher than that.
But that's it.
What is going to happen with? So are people going to play him and Gibbs? I guess that's what they're going to do.
That's like a lock, isn't it? I mean, like
it's pretty close. I mean,
kind of hard to say. I mean, because I mean, like
he could get like a 7 or something like that, or an 8. You know, it's possible he has like 70 yards rushing and nothing else.
Let me see what I would get here. I don't want to open the lineups. So right now, I would in the Saturday Sunday, where he's 4K in the Saturday Sunday, by the way.
Yeah, I figured. I didn't know that.
And I'm getting 100 of him.
Yeah,
but that's out of 20 lineups. If I played 150 lineups, I would be getting. Let's see, I would still be getting 100 of him. And 82% of the aforementioned Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
And then 64% of the Saquon Barkley. That's in the Saturday Sunday. I can't imagine.
Wow.
I mean, you'd probably be getting like more than 100 of Jaden Daniels in the Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Daniels is clearly going to project the best, but I really like the idea of getting.
You like to fade that, huh?
What?
You know,
well, I really like Lamar and Josh Allen. They have the highest, and Jalen Hurts for that matter. And by the way, Stafford.
Oh, that's for the 2 day. Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't fire up my Saturday stuff yet. I don't think. But I'm gonna get going because Ms. Sheets and I are going to dinner in a couple of minutes.
All right.
Nice. So let me know when you're around. I'm doing some errands tomorrow. If I'm around, I'll join you. If not, then
okay.
I won't.
I'm planning to go at 3 Eastern.
Okay. Oh, then I might be back by then. We'll see how it goes.
All right, buddy. Have a good night. All right, guys. I'm gonna probably get out of here soon too. That was good news that we just got in about Brandon Miller being out. I was already Lomelo was already in my one lineup that I'm playing tonight. So that makes plenty of sense. I think that the Keontae George is getting a little overlooked tonight. That's another one that I like. Just want to throw that out there. But I will be in the Discord if anything comes up. Obviously, it's NBA, so it's going to be crazy. Let me just jump to the right thing here. I'm on the wrong slate here. So if anything happens, pop it in there. I'll happily go over it with you. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Rhodey, if you're around, come join me at 3 Eastern. If you're not around, totally understand. But we're going to hopefully end this football season with a